Hello everyone. This is assignment number 1 and the problem statement is, one second, and the problem statement is we have to find positive and negative numbers and a 64-bit number. We have to find positive number count and negative number count from the array in a 64-bit programming. So we are doing programming in a 80386 microprocessor for 64-bit number, and we have to find out number of positive count and number of negative count from the array. So this is the first syntax of our program, section.data. In our program, basically the program contains 3 sections: section.data, section.pss and section.text. So in data section, basically we declare initialized variable. In a PSS section, we declare uninitialized variable, and in text section we will do real programming. Then global underscore start and underscore start is the label where we will continue our code. So this is the syntax for data section. In data section, variable name, then data type, then variable value. So this is the syntax. Variable name, you can put any variable name. Data type, like define byte, define word, define double word and define quad word. Byte means 8-bit, word means 16-bit, double word means 32-bit and quad word means 64-bit. So this is the data type for 80386 programming or assembly language programming. Like in higher level language, we will take data type like integer, character, float. So in 80386 processor or assembly language programming, we will take data type like word, double word and quad word. So this is the example: capital A space db space 50. Capital A is the variable name, db is the data type, and 50 is the variable value. So basically we define or we assign 50 value to variable A. D we will use for define or declare. In data section, we will write message. So this is the syntax for message. MSD again is the variable name, DB is the data type, 10 we will use for new line. Then message DB 10, comma, the sum of array element is. So in inverted comma, we will write our message. Whatever message we want to print on output screen, the message we will write into inverted comma. Then in next line, we will assign the length to message length variable. So message underscore length EQU $message. Message length is the variable name again. EQU is the assembler directive. Dollar basically assign the real value to the message length variable. So what is the syntax? The syntax is message underscore length is the variable name. EQU is the assembler directive that assign the right hand side value to the left hand side variable, and dollar sign we are using for the actual length. Like if you start your message from the 1000 address and your message length is total 1010, then your actual length is not 1010, your actual length is 1010 minus 1000, so your actual length will be 10. So this basic actual length we will assign to the message length variable. Whenever you will write message into data section, in next line you have to assign the length also. Then EQU is the directive assigned right side value to left side variable. So EQU is your assembler directive. 10 basically we are using for the new line character. So this is the new line ASCII value in decimal. You can use 0AH also. 0AH we will use into hexadecimal format. Dollar is the current address of prompt or pointer. Message is the starting address of variable message. Then section.bss. In a section.bss, we will use for the uninitialized variable declaration. So this is the syntax for BSS section. Variable name, then RES. RES keyword basically we are using for the reserved memory. Then memory type and memory size. So you can see here the example: capital A reserve B 50. That means for variable A you will reserve 50 byte. So this is the syntax for BSS section for variable, means for uninitialized variable. In data section we will use for the initialized data section, basically we are using for initialized variable, and BSS section we will use for the uninitialized variable. So here you can see the example, capital A reserve B space 50. That means 50 byte you will assign for variable A, or for this thing we will use res keyword. Res means reserve. Then this is a syntax for macro. You can see here the syntax of macro. Basically why we are using macro, because again and again you have to write this instruction for printing the message on output screen, or whenever you want to read data or read instruction or read variable value from the screen, at the time you have to write this type of instruction. So once we define macro, then you don't need to write this instruction again and again for printing the message on output screen, or for reading the value from the screen or from the memory. So what is the syntax of macro? Here you can see first we see the instruction move rx, 0. So 0 is the system call that we are using for reading. Then 0 again read from the keyboard. RSI, so move rx, 0. So basically this 0 we will pass into accumulator register for reading the value. Then this 0, again a system call, we will pass into RDA register from reading the keyboard. Then variable name basically the starting address of your variable where it is stored. So that address we will move into RSI register, and variable length we will move into RDX register. Then syscall, it is a system call that invoke these instruction. They invoke the processor to executing these instruction. So these are the instruction. Move rx, 0. So 0 we will use for reading. Then again 0 we will use for reading from the keyboard. Then variable name we will move into RSI register, and variable length we will move into RDX register. So RX is your accumulator register, RDA is your destination index register, RSI is your source index register, RDX is your data register. So this is the syntax for macro. Here you can see the macro syntax for writing, for printing or writing your message on output screen. Move rx, 1. So one system call basically we are using for displaying purpose. Then displaying on monitor, again we will use 1. Then RSI, so we will move variable name into RSI register and variable length into RDX register. Then syscall, it is a system call that invoke the processor to executing these instruction. So what is the syntax for macro? Move rx, 1, move RDA, 1, move RSI, variable name, and move RDX, variable length. Then system call. Then this system call basically we are using from exit the program. So move rx, 60 and move RDA, 1, 0 with status either 0 or 1, means for the successful return we will use 0. Then system call, again it is a system call that invoke the processor to execute these instruction. So declaration of macro syntax, you can see here the macro syntax, %macro space macro name. Macro name you can put any macro name. Then number of parameter you have to pass into macro, means whatever number of parameter you will pass into register, that parameter you will write into the syntax. So %macro, then space macro name, then space number of parameter. Then move rx, 1, then you will write here move rx, %1, move RSA, %2, move RDA, %3, and move RDX, %4, like that. Then end macro. So here you can see the full macro syntax. %macro, then read is your macro name. 2, because you are passing 2 parameter. Here you can see RSI and RDX register. So you are passing 2 parameter into RSI register or into RDX register. In RSI register you will pass move RSI comma %1 means variable name you will pass into RSI register and variable length you will pass into RDX register. So here you can see in this example move RX comma 0 because you are using this macro for reading purpose, then move RX comma 0, then move RDI comma 0 because you are reading from the keyboard, you are taking input from the keyboard, then move RSI comma %1 means variable name you will pass into RSI register and move RDX comma %2 means variable length you will pass into RDX register. Then syscall, it is a system call that invoke the processor to execute the instruction. The above instruction means move RX comma 0, RDI comma 0, RSI comma %1 and RDX comma %2. Then end macro. So this is the full syntax of your macro. Then procedure declaration and definition. So procedure name, then code of procedure and return. So this is the procedure syntax. For display, code of the procedure, then return. So this is the again a procedure definition. So this is the difference between macro and procedure. When call macro, code is inserted in main program and executed as a program instruction. Means macro you are using as a header file. So whenever you include header file into your program, then related instruction or related function you can use it again and again. So it is like a small program. Then when call procedure, control transfer to procedure definition, execute code in procedure location and control return back to main program. Like your display procedure, like means for counting positive or negative number, then again you will call a procedure. So procedure is like a function and macro is like a small program code like a header file. Then display procedure. So when you want to display number on a screen, you need to convert from hex to ASCII format because whenever you enter any number on your output screen, that number basically save into ASCII format in your computer. So whenever you wanted to use that number, you have to convert that ASCII number into hex number, and you have to perform whatever operation you wanted to perform on that number, you can perform it. Then whatever result you will get it, again your result you have to convert into ASCII format. Then only you can display that number. So in a display procedure, you have to convert your hex number into ASCII format, and whenever you want to enter or you want to take input from the user side, that number basically save into ASCII format in your computer. So first, before performing any operation on that number, you have to convert that number into hex number. Then you can perform operation, and whenever you will get result, that result also you have to convert into ASCII format for displaying on your output screen. So this is the display procedure. So algorithm, you can see here algorithm for number display on screen, hex to ASCII conversion. Take count value as 16 into count variable, count for 16 digit to display. Means in count variable you will take number of variable, means how many number of variable you wanted to display on your output screen, that count you will take into count variable. Then move address of result variable into RDI. Result is a variable name, then the result, whatever result you will get it, you will move into result variable. Result variable to RDI register. So move address of result variable into RDI. So RDI is a destination index register. So whatever result you will get it, you have to move into RDI register. Then rotate left RBX register by 4 bits. Why you are performing rotate? Because in a memory, whenever you performing write operation or whenever you performing a reading operation, both are performing from the different side. So if you wanted to read number from your memory, so you have to read from the from the right hand side. So and whenever you will write anything, you will write from the left hand side. So that's why you have to perform the rotate left operation. So most significant bit move into least significant bit side and you can read it. So that's why. And how many number you wanted to read it, according to that you will perform the rotate operation. Then move BL into AL register. So whatever number you will get it after rotating into BL register, you will move into AL register. Then performing AND operation with 0FH. Why you are performing AND operation? Because whenever you are performing the AND operation with the rotate number, so higher side basically you can mask by performing a AND operation, and lower side you will get it only. Then compare with 09H, then that number you will compare with the 09H. Then if greater, then add 30H into the AL register, and else add 30 into AL register. So basically you will compare your number with the 09H. If number is lower than or equal to 09, then you will add 30. If your number is greater than 09, then you will add 37H in your number, and like that you will convert your number into ASCII format. Then that number, move AL into memory location pointed by RDI. So that number basically you will move into RDI register, then increment RDI and loop the statement till count value become 0. Means when you will perform that operation until you will convert all number into ASCII format, then return from the procedure. So this is the code for display section. You can see here move RBX comma num. So basically this is the memory location, stored number into RBX register. So that number you will move into RBX register. Then RDI register you will point out with the display buffer variable. Then move R6 comma 16 because you wanted to display 16 digit on your output screen. That's why you initialize your count variable with 16 number. Rotate RBX comma 04. So whatever number you will move from num variable to RBX register, that number you will rotate by 4 bits because you wanted to why you are using 4 bits, because this is a hexadecimal number. So that's why for one digit you will move 4 bits. Then move AL comma BL. Then that number you will move into AL register. After moving into AL register, you will performing AND operation with that number with 0FH. Then you will get only that number and remaining number will be masked. Then add AL comma 30H. Then you will add 30H in that number and compare AL with 39H. If jump if greater, add 37. So if that number is greater than, then you will add 30. If it is lower, then you will add 30. Then jump skip 1. Then you will move to skip 1 label. Add 30, add AL comma 37H. Then skip 1, move RDI comma AL. So this is the procedure. Whenever you miss after performing a AND operation, you will compare your number with the 09H value or with the 39H. So here you are comparing with 39H. If your number is greater than 39H, then you will add 37. If your number is less than 39H, then you will add 30. So after performing that operation, you will move on that label skip 1, and that number you will move into RDI location. Then increment RDI pointer and decrement the counter. So like that you will convert every digit into ASCII format, and at last you will jump to the procedure. Then converting number from ASCII to hex. From ASCII to hex procedure, XOR operation, you XOR RBX with RBX to initialize it to 0, XOR RCX with R6 to initialize it to 0, XOR RX with RX to initialize to 0. Means first you have to clear RBX, RCX or RX register by using a XOR instruction or by initializing with 0. Then move 16 to R6 register, number count to convert. Means counter variable you will initialize with the number means whatever number you wanted to display on your output screen, that number you will move into R6 register. Move the address of num variable into RSI. Then you will move the num variable address into RSI register. Then rotate left operation on RBX register by 4 bits. Then move value at memory location pointed by RSI into AL and compare AL with 39H. So this is the procedure when you convert your ASCII number into hex number. If greater, subtract 37H from AL, else subtract 30H. So whenever you convert your hex value into ASCII format, at that time you will add 30H. If you wanted to convert from ASCII to hex, at that time you will subtract 30H from your number. Then add AL into BL register or increment RSI pointer. So like that you will convert every number into hex number. So this is the procedure for ASCII to hex number. You will initialize your RBX register with 0, then you will initialize your counter with 16, and num ASCII value from RSI, move that number location into this variable address you will move into RSI register, then perform the rotate left operation. After performing rotate left operation, the number you will move into AL register, compare that number with 39H. If it is greater, then subtract 30H. If it is lower, then subtract 30. Like that you will convert your ASCII number into hex number. And this is the execution procedure. So if you wanted to execute a program, at that time you will execute this instruction: NASM space -F space ELF64 then ndp.asm, ndp is your program name, then you load your then you will execute your object file ld space -o space program name space program name.o, then slash dot program name. Only this thing you will use for executing your program. So this is your program. Now we will start your program. This is the frame only. Whatever we have discussed in this in lecture till, so it is the framework, means what is the definition of macro, display procedure, ASCII to hex and hex to ASCII conversion procedure. But now this is your actual program. So this is the array. Whenever so this is the array, and in your array you have taken 5 numbers. So array 64, because this is the 64 number and your number is into the hexadecimal format. So you are taking 16 digit number, 16 digit because one digit we will convert, hex one digit we will represent by 4 bits. So 16 into 4 means 64 number. So that's why you are taking 16 digit here. And equal and equ 5. 5 basically is the variable length. So this length you will pass into variable n. Then BSS section you can see here. In BSS section you will reserve memory for p count or n count variable. P count reserve quad word 1, means one quad word memory you reserve for p count variable and one quad word memory you reserve for the n count variable. Then logic for positive and negative number checking. So to check whether number is positive or negative, check sign bit of number. Then to check bit we can use BT, bit test instruction. So for checking your number is positive or negative, for this thing we will use your BT instruction, means bit test instruction. Or shift number to left side by 1 bit, so sign bit will shift into carry bit. Or rotate number to left side by 1 bit, so sign bit will shift into carry bit. Then check bit algorithm. So declare array first with 64 bit number, positive count, negative count. Then point RSI to array, take counter as number of element, take counter of content of RSI. Then check 63rd number bit, check bit in carry using jump carry. If carry 1, then your number is negative. If carry is 0, that means number is your positive number. And we will repeat this procedure till your number is not become 0. So here you can see move RSI comma array 64. So array 64 basically contain the 5 variable, 5 number. That address, this is the variable address. So you will move that address. This is a variable name that contain the address of your array. That address you will move into RSI register. And length means how many number you wanted to check it. So that length or that count you will move into counter register. RBX and RDX register you will initialize with 0. Then move RX comma RSI. So RSI basically represent the first number. That number you will move into accumulator register. Then shift left instruction you will use it here, and RX comma 1. So your number means RX, whatever number you have moved into RX register, that number you will move into RAX, and you perform the shift left operation on that number. So rotate left 1 bit to check for sign. So that bit, if you wanted to perform shift left operation on your number, then that number basically that bit, most significant bit, will move into the carry bit, and you will check. And now you can check your carry bit. If your number, your carry bit is 1, that means jump carry. If carry is generated, that you will move the negative level. If your carry is not generated, in that case you will move at the positive level. Then you will increment the count. So increment RBX and jump to the next. Then increment RDX means if you find your number is positive, in that case you will increase the RBX register count. If your number is negative, then in that case you will increase the RDX count. Then add RSI comma 8. For next number you will add 8 into RSI number, because your it is your 64 bit number. So first location is 0, then for the second location you have to add 8 into your number. Then decrement your count, because first number you have compared, so that's why you decrementing your count. Then jump not 0. If you find any number is remaining in your counter register, then again you will jump to the next number variable. Then you will check for next number, you will move into RX register, then performing the shift left operation, then check your carry is generated. If carry is generated, then you will increase the RBX count. If your carry is not generated, in that case you will increase the RDX count. Then for the next number comparison, you will add RSI comma 8, means your address, in your address location you will add 8 for the next number point, for the next number. Then you decrement your counter register. If your counter is not 0, then again you will perform the operation. So like that, again and again you will perform the operation. Now once you complete your operation, then RBX register contain the positive number count and RDX register contain the negative number count. That count you will move into P count and N count location. So this is the this is your whole procedure for counting positive or negative number. Here you can see, once we will again discuss this thing, how you will check your number is positive or negative. Here you can see, first address you will move into RSI register and number count you will move into RCX register. RBX and RDX register you will initialize with 0 because this register contain the positive and negative number count. RBX register contain the positive number count and RDX register contain the negative number count. Then first number you will move into RX register, perform the shift left operation. That's why your MSB bit move into the carry bit. Then you can check your carry bit. If carry is generated, then your number is negative. If carry is not generated, then your number is positive. If your number is positive, in that case you will increase the RBX number count. If your number is negative, in that case you will increase the RDX count and jump to the next level. Your next level is this. For the next number, we will add RSI with 8. So that's why you can point out the next number and decrease the counter. If your counter is not 0, then again you will perform that operation, means you will check your number. Once you will complete your number checking, then RBX register count you will move into P count variable and RDX register count you will move into the N count variable. So this is the logic for your first program. So this is the coding for your first program. Thank you.